Coming up next on Samford News Network, some Samford students expressed concern about the event Students for Life last week. Hear why organizers say it was not meant to be a political event.
And Stepsing is officially underway. Hear how you can get involved with the Samford tradition.
And a student organization is working to make a difference in the life of a Bulldog fan. Hear how Dream on 3 is working to help Chandler's dream come true this month. Samford News Network starts right now. Hello, and welcome to Samford News Network. I'm Andrew Simonson.
And I'm Caroline Spikes. Thanks for joining us.
A Samford student concert had to have police presence last week as some students were concerned about potentially controversial messaging.
But leaders of Stand for Life say the event wasn't meant to be political. Thursday's event featured speaker Herbie Newell. Newell told the crowd standing up for life meant encouraging Christians to take notice of the vulnerable, including orphans, widows, and others. Newell told the audience this was not meant to be a political issue, but instead a gospel issue. Davy Flowers and the Worship Initiative, as well as Tripoli, were also featured at the event. The Students for Life leaders, Malin Dye and Sterling Kennedy, say they want to be there to help students in crisis.
We exist to educate people on life issues and also partner with organizations like Stand for Life and Lifeline Children's Services, and to really support people and raise awareness for women experiencing unexpected pregnancy, as well as just other life issues as well.
Students for Life leaders say they plan to do more outreach events in the upcoming months.
The university is considering adding 2 new sororities to Greek life this spring. Kappa Delta Sorority and Alpha Gamma Delta International Women's Fraternity presented their organizations to Greek life in mid-October. Katie has had a chapter on campus before. Alpha Gamma would be a first-time chapter. If accepted, both sororities would start recruitment and new membership this spring.
In other Greek news, a Samford alumnus is accusing Samford University of never reimbursing the nonprofit corporation that paid for the Theta Alpha House. The house was built and maintained by the nonprofit Theta Alpha Zeta House Corporation in the 70s. Due to a hazing incident, the fraternity was suspended and removed from campus in 2011. Alumnus James Hart says Samford wrongfully seized the property after the fraternity suspension. He filed a lawsuit in September, but a Jefferson County judge deferred it. The former Bulldog has now filed an appeal to the state Supreme Court. Lambda Chi Alpha is no longer associated with the nonprofit and denies these accusations. And university officials have not commented on the case.
Samford officials say they're working with student organization DREAM to make campus more accessible. The Office of Accessibility and Accommodations held an event last week with DREAM to raise awareness for their services. They say there's still a lot of work to be done to help students who have physical, mental, or learning disabilities. DREAM President Levi Thomas says he hopes their efforts will make Samford a place where all feel welcome.
It is good, overall. There are definitely specific buildings that do better than others. Part of that does have to do with just how old Samford is. Obviously, when they built this in the 1800s, mobility aids were not something taken into consideration.
To learn more about Samford services, email access@samford.edu.
Tuesday is Election Day. Alabama state general elections will take place on November 8th. If you're mailing your ballot, you must request one by today. The ballot must be postmarked by next Tuesday. To view the ballot before Tuesday, go to the Alabama Secretary of State's website, alabamavotes.gov. There you can see your sample ballot, get your voting site information, and check on your voting registration.
Next Friday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. Samford officials say they'll be celebrating by helping all students and faculty to honor veterans. The Veterans Day service will be held at Sherman Circle at 11 a.m. There will also be a luncheon afterward, hosted by President Beck Taylor and his wife for veterans and their guests. Reservations are required for the luncheon.
Here's what you'll need to know about Samford's homecoming this weekend. Starting Friday, there will be a pep rally at SIEBERT Stadium for 5:30 to 7:30. President Taylor will speak on the honor of the 2022 Alumni of the Year as well. Samford kicks off game day Saturday with multiple tailgates on the quad. Samford's track team will actually be pole vaulting on the quad during their tailgate. At 4, the Bulldogs will be ready to take on their opponent, VMI. During halftime of the game, the homecoming king and queen will be presented. To stay up to date with times and locations, you can download the Samford Homecoming app on the App Store.
It's that time of year. Not Christmas, but Step Sing. Signups have officially closed for Step Sing. Now directors know who their participants are. They say they're excited to get started on this year's production. Senior director and reigning champion Davis Ennis says he's looking forward to this year's edition of the Sing and Dance competition.
The Step Sing, I'm really excited just as a senior to get to have one last Step Sing experience with my friends that I've been doing this with since freshman year. And we're in a really fun position coming off a win last year, so everybody's really excited to be a part of it again this year. So I think we are really hoping to make some noise again this year.
Step Sing will take place in the Wright Center January 26th through the 28th of next year.
The university has announced a major guest speaker coming this spring. The university is hosting an evening with Tim Tebow in March. The two-time national champion and Heisman Trophy winner will speak at the Wright Center. Tebow will share from his book, Mission Possible. His book is about finding your mission, pursuing your purpose, and creating a life that counts. Tickets are on sale now through the Orlean Beeson School of Education.
It's fall here at Samford's campus, and students welcomed the cooler weather with Fall Fest last week. Attendees were greeted with free apple cider and other fall-themed snacks. The opening act was Samford commercial music band Lakeshore. Then the night was capped off with a concert from Zion Goins. Samford freshman and Zion Goins drummer Jacob McClendon says it was a great way to kick off fall.
Really well. I'd say the turnout was like the best I've seen at Harry's concert, and like there was some people like inside and there's some people outside, like just hanging out. So like the vibes were definitely solid.
And if you're already thinking about Christmas, the lighting of the way ceremony kicking off the holidays is just a month away.
Still to come on Samford News Network. Samford Soccer is on their way to claim this year's SoCon title. Find out how the team is preparing.
And Samford athletes are hoping to make dreams come true. Find out how the organization Dream on 3 is helping one Bulldog fan get his ultimate wish. We'll be right back.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spotlight on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back. This weekend, Samford's soccer team dominated in the beginning of the bracket of the SoCon tournament. The Lady Bulldogs took on the Citadel first on Friday in the quarterfinals. They beat the Citadel 1-0 in the first game. Samford and Mercer advanced to play in the semifinals on Sunday. Samford came away with the 1-0 win and will advance to the finals next weekend. Whitaker Buchanan scored 1 goal in both games. Goalie Emma Donnelly made 10 saves in both games. Veteran starter Jennifer Seward was injured on Friday and did not return for the match on Sunday. No word yet on whether Seward will return this weekend. Samford will host UNCG on Sunday at 1 p.m. This is Samford's 4th straight season with an appearance in the SoCon Finals.
And it was a productive weekend for Bulldog Fall sports. Samford women's cross-country team finishes second in the SoCon Championship this past weekend. With the 2 athletes, Mackenzie Hogue and Gabby Hoots, placing in the top 10, Samford football continued their winning streak by beating the Citadel 38-3. This win makes them 5-0 in conference play. Samford volleyball falls to ETSU, putting the Dogs 8-4 in conference play. The Dogs come home this weekend where they will compete against Furman.
The men's golf team finishes 9th overall in the Grandover Collegiate, and senior Davis Woodliff ties for 5th place. Congratulations to all of our Bulldogs.
The baseball team and other Samford athletes are coming together to form something much bigger than a game. It's called Dream on 3, and these students are hoping to make one Bulldog fan very happy this fall. The new organization, Dream on 3, began with Samford baseball player Brody Russ Brooks. Brody is a transfer from Georgia Tech and decided to bring Dream on 3 with him.
My second semester here, I got back in touch with Steven, who is one of the reps at Dream on 3, and he kind of asked if I was interested to bring it to Samford, and I of course was, because I love Dream on 3 and I love what the organization stands for.
So what does it stand for exactly? Dream on 3 is a nonprofit organization that started up in 2012 by Brandon Lindsay. Their mission is to break down the barriers of those with life-altering conditions through the world of sports. After Brody's transfer, he reached out to teammate Mason McCormick to come together as co-leaders.
I immediately agreed to it because I knew we could start like a dynasty here in a sense when it comes to this stuff.
Soon after they started, they found their dreamer, Chandler. Chandler realized he was different in middle school, but his love for sports was the same as anyone else's. His dream of seeing the ins and outs of Samford athletics will turn into a reality on the weekend of November 19th. The organization hopes to treat Chandler to a weekend he will never forget. Earlier this year, they held a percentage night to raise money at a local company. After a night of pool and mingling, they were still short of their goal.
Really, I just want people to come out and learn more about what we're doing with Chandler. Obviously, we're trying to raise money, but really the main point is just to rally support around Chandler and what we're trying to do for him.
Chandler's dream is monumental, not just for him, but for the university as a whole. Donations can be made through the link in their Instagram bio as shown on your screen.
I don't know, we just want to keep this going for generations really, and just keep it a Samford thing.
Organization, you can visit them on Instagram at samford.dreamteam.
Samford esports will soon have a place to call home on campus. Members of administration met with esports players and fans on Friday. The group discussed how SIEBERT Hall's future esports complex can best serve students. The teams have competed virtually since spring 2021. Samford's esports director Cooper Sullivan believes the project will help the program thrive.
Community around each other in person, you wouldn't think of esports being like that, but just being able to walk over to someone's desk and being able to help them and coach them, things like that would be unbelievably helpful.
Samford currently has teams in the NECC for Valorant and League of Legends. The lab will open in 2024 when SIEBERT Hall's renovations finish.
Samford Equestrian Club helped host a jumping competition at Cameron Oaks Farm. The Hunter Jumper competition features riders of all ages and abilities. The two-day event is the last local event for many competitive riders. The equestrian team practices with Cameron Oaks Farm. The team will begin their competition season this spring.
Basketball starts next week, and Bucky McMillan's Bulldogs have high expectations on and off the court. SNN's Caden Sturgis tells what we can expect this season from Buckyball.
Men's basketball season is just around the corner. Head coach Bucky McMillan is looking to build upon the momentum from last season. After a fantastic student section to end conference play, Bucky is wanting to get students even more involved this year.
Well, those are the most important, people to me is our students. We want, I love all supporters of our program, but this is the student experience. This is their school where they're attending, and they don't get these 4 years back. So I want these 4 years for those 12 home games to have the opportunity to have the best seats in the house.
This new seating arrangement gives more room for students and allows the band to bring every musician to every home game. Bucky hopes this will allow students to be even louder than last season.
Yeah, there's no reason we shouldn't have the best atmosphere in the SoCon. Last year we went 8-1 in our league games at home, and that was one loss too many. That's all I think. We should win every home game because they're going to play against our Army. That's all of our students.
Players enjoy playing in front of bigger crowds. There is no bigger example than Quez Glover against Furman last year.
I play with a lot of energy, and I get a lot of energy when we have a big crowd, and just hitting that shot and just hearing the crowd erupt, it just kind of felt good.
Samford hasn't made the NCAA tournament since 2000. While this team wants to break the streak, Bucky is aiming even higher than that.
It impacts your ability to get to the NCAA tournament and try to win a national championship. You know, we want to be playing for a national championship. Like, that's what you do when you get to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Any one of those teams can win, and we've seen it.
Fans can help the Bulldogs towards this goal by being loud. Students used metal spoons and trumpets to cheer on the team last season.
Our students' creativity this year, as we attempted to do what we were doing last season, just magnified.
Students can show their support for the Bulldogs at FanFest on Thursday night before the team welcomes Anderson to the Pete Hanna Center on November 7th at 7 p.m. For Samford News Network, I'm Caden Sturgis.
Season tickets for the men's team are already on sale. Single tickets for both teams will go on sale soon.
Turning now to Birmingham area sports, the Birmingham Bulls opened their season last week with 2 wins over the Vermilion County Bobcats, and the Bulls hope to make the SPHL playoffs in the 3rd season under head coach Craig Simchuk. The Bulls reignite their rivalry against the Huntsville Havoc Friday night. While the Havoc have dominated this rivalry, the Bulls hope to write a new chapter this season with a physical brand of play. Puck drop for the first home battle is at 7 at the PELHAM Civic Complex.
Coming up next on Samford News Network, Samford Theater has a large slate of productions this fall. Hear how you can see these world-class performances.
And for all of your latest SNN news, be sure to follow us on Instagram at SNN Samford. We'll be right back.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it.
Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Welcome back. Samford's theater season is now in full swing.
The season opened last month with Orphe and the Book of Heroes. It continued last weekend with their production of Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns was the only play of the season to be staged outdoors. Head lighting designer Alex Felt says it was challenging having an outdoor play.
One thing, especially on the lighting side, is we've had to install truss, we've had to focus lights for an outdoor stage, which means we have to be here late at night. And just programming, it's just all different because you can't do anything in the day. It all has to be done at night.
Samford Theater returns next month with an opera called Amal and the Night Visitors. There will be 3 plays next semester in the Harrison Theater. You can get tickets on Samford's theater website.
Samford's Film Club is kicking off election season with a movie all about politics. The club's latest viewing was for the film Election. Students then discussed the film after the screening. Club organizers say they were able to film 2 more film screenings this semester. To learn more about this club, visit this club on Instagram at SU_Film Club. And if making movies are more your thing, the new BEA Student Media Club may be for you. The BEA Club competed in an international 48-hour film competition last week. They were given the genre of telenovela this year. Student director Donovan Wyatt says it was a challenging experience, but rewarding to see what the students could do under pressure. To watch the film they created, Mi Hermano Favorita, visit the Samford Communication and Media Department's YouTube page.
Cadres have been in full swing for the past few weeks, but are now coming to a close. When deciding on a cadre, students are able to pick the topic that most interests them. Organizers say cadres are safe spaces to express your thoughts outside of a classroom setting. The professors also incorporate teachings from the Bible into the group meetings. Since the cadres include religious aspects, the group meetings count for convocation credits as well. Cadre leader and Professor Daniel Hahn is leading a group about self-care. He says the group talks about how students should take care of themselves mentally, spiritually, and physically. To find a cadre for the spring, visit the Student Life website.
Warm meals bring family and friends together, especially on a cozy fall evening, but many students may not know how to create that meal for themselves. That's where Samford's Nutrition and Wellness Department comes in. They're holding cooking classes on various recipes each month. October's class featured one-pot meals. The meal included wheat rolls, wild mushroom soup, and almond date bites. Senior Maggie Walsh says she loves learning about the kitchen from this series.
We can learn how to cook a variety of foods from like multiple different cultures. So in the past we've done tikka masala from like an Indian culture, which was really cool and fun. But one of my favorites has been, we did like a taste of Mexico with like homemade tortillas and just like tacos. And so that was one of my favorites because the food was so good.
The cost to join a class for students is $25 and $35 for community members. It is not every day you get to celebrate someone's 122nd birthday.
But Samford students got to celebrate Mr. Beeson's birthday last week. Beeson helped the university build multiple buildings through generous donations of over $56 million. The university says his legacy will continue to impact students for hundreds of years. The university celebrated by placing flowers and other gifts at the Beeson statue. Happy birthday, Mr. Beeson, from the SNN crew. That's all the time we have left for Samford News Network.
Join us again next week for our latest episode. In the meantime, get all your latest SNN news on Instagram at SNN Samford. Have a great day.